The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Network Detective Stories, continuing America's love affair with private eyes. We now go back to the early days of radio and our imaginations with our feature presentation.
Now for this week's episode of Bulldog Drummond.
Out of the night, and into his American adventures comes Bulldog Drummond. Horton's Ice Cream, New York's favorite, brings you your favorite detective adventurer, Bulldog Drummond, in another of his exciting escapades. For adventure and excitement, keep this rendezvous with Bulldog Drummond every week. And for refreshment in between times, enjoy Horton's Ice Cream. And now to tell you about tonight's adventure, here's Bulldog Drummond.
The adventure I call Blind Man's Bluff dealt with a series of gruesome murders. It is not one I am likely to forget. Nor can I even now look at a lamb chop without a shudder and a feeling of deep gratitude. Yes, a lamb chop. But to our story, which begins late one night on the streets of a large city.
Read all about it. Capsulate papers. Here, get your papers. How'd you make out today, Sam?
Miserable, my boy, miserable. Everybody's in a hurry. Wouldn't stop to give a penny to a poor blind beggar.
Well, it's getting kind of late. Yeah, 12 o'clock. Better pack up your tin cup and go on home and get some sleep.
Yes, it's a miserable world. Good night, my boy.
See you tomorrow.
Yes. Miserable world.
Hello, Sam.
Huh? Who's that?
Keep on walking.
Let go of my arm.
Shut up. Right up this alley now.
I won't go.
I got a terrible itch in the trigger finger, Sam.
I didn't do anything. I'm just poor old
You're
Sam.
too nosy.
Oh, you're making a
I
mistake.
don't like taking chances. It don't pay.
But I won't talk.
Sure, you won't. You are still nosy, Sam.
Denny? We're on our way to the morgue to take a look at the corpse of a poor beggar who shouldn't have been killed, but was. Now, don't you think that's confusing enough without this chatter about reincarnation?
Oh, but really, sir, it's very simple. For example, let us assume I was a turtle dove in my previous incarnation, sir.
All right, if you insist.
Now, if I were a very good turtle dove...
I'm sure you were, Denny.
Well, I would then, as a reward, become a man in my next incarnation.
You did, didn't you?
Oh, definitely, as you see, sir.
This is the morgue now. They're expecting us.
Really, sir?
Relax, Denny. As visitors, not guests.
Yes?
I'm Captain Drummond.
Yes, they told me you were coming. Want to take a look at that stiff they brought in last night?
That's one way of putting it.
Well, keep the men on this side. Dames on the other. Respectable.
Oh, it's quite chilly, isn't it?
The customers don't complain. Take this guy you can see. Look at him. Peaceful. Like a baby, ain't he? No trouble at all.
Yes. Except that babies rarely have bullet holes in them.
Well, those things happen. Boys will be boys.
I used to see him every day at his post opposite the Merchant Marine building. Why on earth should anyone want to kill him?
The root of all evil, pal. Must have had dough on him. See this snazzy wallet was found on him. No folding money in it.
Doesn't fit. New wallet? What else was on the body?
Oh, assorted junk. Ball of twine. Jackknife. Pack of butts. Matches. Piece of chamois. 38 cents in cash and the cap off a beer bottle.
Oh, sir, there he lies today, and tomorrow, a bird, a bee.
Hey, mister, something basically wrong with your friend. Get started on those birds and bees.
No, there's nothing wrong with him. But there is something wrong. Seriously wrong, somewhere. Come along, Denny. Yes, I know. The district attorney is very busy, but I must see him immediately.
Drummond, I didn't know you were here. Come in. How are you?
What is?
I'm glad you dropped by. I'm worried, too.
Yes?
Yes, an important government office was robbed last night, and the guard was murdered.
At the Merchant Marine Building?
Oh, yes. How did you know? The newspapers don't have it.
I didn't know.
Sailing schedules of several convoys were stolen from the Marine Commission files. You know what that means?
Submarines. Murder on the high seas.
We've got to get those schedules back. It looks like an inside job. Usually the building is well protected. But they picked the one time in 24 hours when only a single guard was on duty.
Inside job? No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm going over to see Chandler, the Commissioner of Buildings. Will you come with me?
If I can be of help?
You've got to be, Drummond. There are men on ships at sea at this very moment who will die if we don't succeed.
Yes, sir. I'm Captain Drummond. Mr. Chandler is expecting the district attorney myself.
Come in. Wait a minute. The district attorney and another guy. Show them in.
Oh, down, Rex, down. Don't worry, gentlemen. The dog's harmless.
They're beautiful animals.
A seeing-eye dog. I don't know what I'd do without him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't...
Yes, I'm blind. But I manage.
I took the liberty of bringing Captain Drummond along, Chandler. He may be able to help us.
I sincerely hope so. We need help. This last tragedy frightens me. I was at the building myself last night, you know.
So I was told.
Rather fortunate for me, I can't see, isn't it? The perfect alibi.
If you needed one, of course. The butler's a rather peculiar type, isn't he?
Oh, he's not a butler at all, Captain Drummond. He's a bodyguard. I felt I needed one.
A wise precaution.
What was that?
Someone put the lights out.
In the corner behind me, I can hear him breathe. Captain Drummond, the window.
Lamp this chair. Where's that light switch? That's better. Jay?
I'm all right.
Chandler?
All right, Drummond. I crouched under the chair.
Yes, unfortunate you did. There are 2 bullet holes in the back of your chair.
Good heavens. Which way did he go?
Too late to look for him now. Close escape you had, Chandler.
Yes. I can hardly realize what...
What's been happening?
Someone tried to kill Mr. Chandler. You better keep a close watch.
Oh, yes, sure.
Well, we may as well go, D.A. I don't think he'll be making another attempt tonight.
Well, I hope you're right. Good night, Chandler. Don't bother. We'll find our own way out.
Good night. Oh, those shots.
Yes, boss?
They came pretty close. Would you happen to know anything about them?
Me, boss? I don't know nothing.
Yes, of course.
Look, I better scram, boss.
If you must.
Yeah, I got a job to do tonight. A good deed.
Well, in that case, my blessings.
Yeah, boss. Thanks for them kind words. I'll remember them just when I'm laying down to sleep tonight. After I put somebody else to sleep. Like Sam. How you, fella?
Huh?
It's time for you to go home, ain't it?
I'm waiting for my wife. She takes me home. Do I know you?
I don't think so. I live down the block from you, but on account I never spoke to you and you being blind, I guess you don't. But I'm taking you home tonight. Your wife ain't feeling so good.
She ain't hurt you?
No. Come on. You've been on this corner a long time, ain't you? Across from the criminal courts building.
Yes, long time.
But you know, I was kind of thinking beginning tomorrow you ought to pick yourself a different corner.
Different? What are you talking about?
I figure it might save you a lot of trouble.
You see, I didn't think this. You going to kill me or something?
A fiery
just
horse
trying
with
to
a
help
speed
us
of light,
all
a
out.
cloud of dust, and a
Right.
hearty hi-yo
This is your
silver.
black. Just
The
hop across the
Lone
street and there you are.
Ranger.
I can find my way to the house, all right.
Go across while the coast is clear.
Thanks, mister. Gee, is there a car coming?
Yeah, up the side street. Now listen.
You sure?
What do you think I
This
am,
is the
blind?
legend of a man and a horse,
Oh.
and how they met.
So long, fella.
The story of the Lone Ranger and his great horse, Silver.
Just right in front of that car. Well, I guess we'll be on a different corner after all.
The Lone Ranger and Silver were trailing the worst outlaw
Silver continues on his
Until
trail of
finally,
death.
they noticed that the
What is
hoofprints of
behind
the
this
outlaw's
fiendish
horse
slaughter
were
of the
fresh.
helpless blind man? What is his connection with Chandler? In just a few moments, we'll know.
Last time. Maybe better we shoot from sight. No, I'll take him alive. That shot. Look out. Steady there, steady boy. Over there.
You know, most of us usually look on with surprise
He
at
missed
seeing
me, but he
something
shot my
new,
horse.
something
Get after him.
different. And yet there are a few very familiar
Tonto's
things
horse
that
was
make further
tired and no match in
surprises.
speed for
Now,
the
for
animal
example,
Cavendish Road.
when it comes
The
to
outlaw
dessert
escaped.
surprises, any of
Tonto
you mothers
returned
would
from the
find
frequent
this
chase.
true.
There's no
He
dessert
found
my
the Lone
family has
Ranger
more
standing
often than
beside
ice
his dead
cream.
horse.
But
A
there's
good
something
horse,
so
Tonto.
extra good about
Loyal,
it that we always
faithful,
look on it as
brave.
a sort of
But my
surprise.
next
Yes,
horse must
ice
be
cream.
faster.
It's so
I wish
popular,
that-
it's earned the name of America's
Tonto,
favorite
you've
dessert.
heard stories
Yet
of
it's
a
so
wild
refreshing
horse,
and
a very white
satisfying,
stallion.
it's always a welcome
You've seen their
surprise.
pally over there.
Particularly
Where
welcome, I
Cavendish
might
was.
add, if it's
We'll be on the
Horton's
lookout
Mellow
for the
Roll ice
wild
cream.
horse while we
The
follow
Horton's
Cavendish.
Mellow Roll is a generous, tempting individual portion of smooth, velvety ice cream. A treat that tops in creamy texture, in mellow richness,
Tonto's horse
in
carried the
deep,
Lone
full-bodied
Ranger's saddle,
flavor.
his
A
saddlebags
Mellow
and
Roll
bridle,
comes in four
while the masked
favorite
man and
flavors:
the Indian
vanilla,
continued on
chocolate,
foot along the
strawberry, and
outlaw's
butterpecan.
trail.
Try
When they
any
reached
one
the
of
top
them,
of a
and
hill,
you'll agree
Tonto,
that
The
they
finest
halted
ice cream
suddenly
surprise
and
you can
stared
give
at
your
an
family is
awe-inspiring
Horton's
sight
Mellow
far
Roll
down in the
ice
valley.
cream.
yes, delicious, creamy Horton's
They saw a
Mellow
great
Roll.
white stallion in a death fight with a giant buffalo. The horse was plunging, rearing, charging, and dodging wildly, and the sun flashed from his coat as from a coat of polished silver.
And now
They
back to
realized
Bulldog
that
Drummond
this was the
and the
legendary
deadly
white
game of
stallion,
blind
the
man's
one
buff.
ranchers and hunters had
The
talked
game
so
of
much
death
about.
in which two blind beggars have already been the
I'll try
losers.
to shoot the buffalo.
It is the morning following the second brutal
I'll
murder.
get closer before she's
Drummond
released.
is finishing
As he
breakfast.
ran downhill, the Lone
What
Ranger
about the
watched the
property,
battle.
Dennis?
The
Very
sleek
good,
white
Dennis.
stallion was nimble and
Very
courageous,
good cover,
but his
Dennis.
strength began to wane.
Which is
The
more
buffalo
than I can
charged
say to
again and
this.
again.
Oh, really?
The splendid muscles of the
Yes,
white
you
horse
can
were
very
slower
bad
in
food.
responding,
But you
then
can
too
be
slow.
certain
He was
next
caught by the
week on
buffalo's
it.
charge.
Yes,
Wet
I
crimson
certainly
stained
hope
his
so.
pure white
Make
coat.
that into
Another
an
charge.
actor.
The white horse saw it coming and he couldn't dodge. He staggered and
Take that
fell.
lovely
The
picture.
monster drew
Thank you.
back and lowered his head for the death charge. And then
How's
two
it
shots
going?
rang out.
Yes, sir.
The buffalo
Another
shuddered from the
beggar killed
impact
last
of the
night.
masked man's bullets. For an instant, he
Incidentally,
stood
according to the
motionless.
newspaper report,
Then
that
fell.
seems strange. Turned by an automobile crossing the street. The feeling it all adds up to murder.
Oh, that's his usual corner near a government building, sir.
Very good, then. I see. Yes.
Only
The report says
battered
his horse was
and
across the
bruised,
street in the
white
criminal
stallion
court
lay
building.
quietly
But
as the
this
Lone
is turning
Ranger
back there.
bathed his wounds.
Then the case is
During the
clearing
next
up.
several days, the masked
yes.
man and the Indian cared
Both
for the
beggars
injured
were
horse.
murdered.
Then the
The
wounds were
first one after a
closed,
crime had been
and the horse's
committed.
strength had
This
returned.
last one,
There was
before.
once more fire in his eye,
They were
a
both
spring in
killed
his
for much the
step,
same reason.
and his head was lifted proudly.
Except that there was one important difference between them.
He's
One could, the other couldn't.
Him plenty
Quite
strong.
obvious.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Horse. I wonder if he'll take a saddle.
Could,
Let's try.
and couldn't what, sir?
Steady
The door,
there.
Dennis.
Steady boy.
Yes, sir.
Me
Yes?
get rope. Him run away.
Wait,
No, Tonto, wait.
What is the
Let him
news?
go.
Never mind, and
I'd like to have
Oh,
that
no, it's
horse
fine.
more
What is
than
it then?
anything in the
newspaper
world.
person to
But
see
he
you,
deserves his
Brenda.
freedom.
Come in.
He fought for
Very
it.
good, sir. Give me your hand,
He's
huh?
turned to look at us.
I don't walk through it.
See how the sun reflects from his white coat.
Hello, boy.
Yeah,
Like silver.
lead poisoning.
Silver.
Can I
Would be a
sit
name
down,
for him.
please?
By all means. Here.
Silver!
Thanks.
Look at him.
Get a doctor, Denny, quick.
Silver!
Before it
No, no doctor's gonna help me, mister.
Coming back.
Let him look at
Just
the
as if
wound.
he knew what I said.
Oh,
Silver!
dead, huh? But let me tell you why I
Silver,
come.
you beauty.
I seen the guy that killed poor old Sam.
You did?
As the mighty
Yeah.
stallion felt the
I wasn't
halter, he
sure,
trembled
son.
as if from a chill.
Well, I told
Every
the guy that-
instinct told him that he must flee at
Go on.
once to preserve his freedom. And yet he stood his ground.
Who was
It
the man?
wasn't gratitude that kept him there. It was something stronger, some mysterious bond of friendship and
Let's go, Dr.
understanding.
Gotham, sir. You can
He
hear the
heard the
number.
man's voice,
Never mind,
and
Denny.
he liked it.
He's
Silver,
dead.
Good, sir.
Silver,
Yes.
we're going to be partners.
Another casualty in our war against the Nazi murderers.
You use halter.
He died on the home front,
The
Denny.
saddle.
You won't get any medals, but
Take saddle. Never was a horse like this.
we've got work to do. No time for
Going to work
thinking.
together.
Called it
The horse
next
was
first
wild
gun.
and
this
unused
morning,
to the ways of men,
someone
and the
else
weight
is
of a
taking his
saddle
place.
and a rider. But the masked
Quick, isn't
man
it?
was a
I
kind
don't
teacher.
understand.
He was
I
gentle
am
yet
beginning
firm,
to.
and
It's all
Silver was
very
intelligent. The stallion seemed to sense the desires of the Lone Ranger and did his best to cooperate. He learned quickly that after several days of training, he was ready.
Take him, Blaine. Bring him here tonight. Criminal Court Building, my office.
Right.
He's extradited that escaped Nazi flyer. He's being brought here tonight.
Yeah?
Yes,
No hoofs had ever beat the plains
He
like
had
those
help from
thundering
the
hoofs of the
escape
great
last
horse
month. We've got to
Silver.
find out who
During
and
the
what.
past few days, Cavendish had gotten far away,
I'll have the
but the
place
last
so well
man
guarded
Tonto
a stray
trailed him
breeze
relentlessly
couldn't
with only a minimum of rest. It took days to
I've
cut
got
down the
an
outlaw's
idea.
lead,
Yeah?
but at long last, Cavendish came
Suppose
into
you
view.
don't take me an extra dog.
Why?
The mighty
Pep is
stallion
already
responded
big.
with a new burst of speed.
That's why they got rid of the beggar.
Cavendish
They know
fired
about
wild
Kroger.
shots over his shoulder
If
until
we
his
scared
gun
him
was
off
empty.
now,
His horse, though powerful
we may
and
never be
fast,
able
was
to get
no
any
match
done
for the
again.
charging Silver.
The other hand,
Fear and panic filled the outlaw's
If we leave the way
face.
open
He heard
for
the
them,
hoofbeats
yes,
ever nearer.
we may be
Then
able
the
to kill
masked
two
man
birds
shouted,
with
"I
one
want
stone.
you, Cavendish!"
Or perhaps I should say, two rats.
Exactly
The
what do you
masked
mean?
man's avowed mission was
Tonight, when
accomplished.
Kroger is brought
The last
here,
of the Cavendish
we'll
gang was captured to be tried by law and punished for his crimes. But there were many others whose criminal plans were to be challenged by the Lone Ranger, his faithful Indian companion Tonto,
been
and
on
his
watch
great
all day,
horse
sir?
Silver.
They come yet?
Yes, Kroger and the detective.
Right. Me and the boss are going up now. Get the rest of the boys together and follow us. But don't let nobody see nothing, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, fella. Keep your eyes open.
My theory, Mr. District Attorney, is that Hitler is a lovely example of an incomplete reincarnation. Originally, he was intended for a rat, you see, but something slipped up. He has the soul and mind of a rodent, of course, but unfortunately...
For heaven's sakes, Denny, spare us.
They haven't come yet.
Never fear, dear. They'll show up. Denny, take that dub, yo.
It's my disguise, sir.
Yes, but we know you're not a detective. The sight is appalling.
Oh, as you wish, sir.
There we are now. Put your derby back on, Denny.
Come in. Oh, hello, Mr. Chandler.
Good evening. Head down, Rex, down. I thought I'd drop by and inquire about that Nazi flyer. I took the precaution of bringing my bodyguard with me. You don't mind?
Of course not.
Is the Nazi flyer here now?
Of course. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you can't see. Yes, he's sulking over there in the corner.
Surely you're not here alone with him.
No, there's a detective here with us. Nevertheless, I don't think you should stay.
Why?
We expect to be attacked at any moment.
By whom?
Nazi agents.
Really? Well, what preparations have you made?
Hey, boss.
What is it?
That guy in the derby, the detective. I seen him before someplace. He wasn't no detective then.
Oh, nonsense, my good man. I mean, I'm a plainclothes flatfoot from Center Street. See, partner?
He's a phony. This is a frame, boss.
Go to work.
All right, fellas. Reach for the roof or this baby cannon goes off.
Mr. Chandler, I don't understand all this.
That aviator Kroger is urgently needed by the fatherland.
What do you mean?
The Third Reich has no use for them. That is, see, they have use for airmen. We have no intentions of letting you imprison them.
Chandler, you're a Nazi.
I'm proud of it, you poor fool. Kroger, you're returning to Germany. Turn around, man.
How did you know he had his back to you?
Because he can see as well as you can, D.A. I've got you covered, Mr. Bodyguard. Drop that gun.
Drummond, you were Kroger.
Yes. I'm afraid this German uniform misled you.
Yeah? You can go back.
Only an arm wound. I'm afraid you'll have to be hanged, my friend.
Then Chandler's not blind.
Of course he isn't. I knew that the first time we met.
How did you know?
Quite simple. That dog there. He called it Rex. Referred to it as him.
That is the dog's name, my friend.
Precisely. You said it was a seeing eye dog, thereby explaining its presence and proving your blindness. You overlooked one little fact, however.
Which was?
All seeing eye dogs are female.
Oh, I say, sir, how fascinating.
So I knew our Mr. Chandler was a phony from the beginning.
But those shots, the attempt on his life.
Equally phony. His bodyguard helped him put on that little entertainment.
You're talking through your hat.
I'm afraid not. The dog proved that.
But the dog did nothing during the shooting.
Exactly. That's what made me suspicious. If you remember, he growled at our entrance. If the assassin had been a stranger, surely he would have growled again.
You're right,
He didn't. Therefore, I knew the man behind the gun was no stranger. Chandler's bodyguard filled the bill.
My apologies, Captain Drummond. I took you for a fool. You're not. And now, go get him, Rex.
How are you, Drummond?
He left at my throat, but I beat him off.
Chandler and that thug ran out with a dog.
We've got to go after them. Good Holmes, there's a gang outside. Lock that door. May not be much good. It's half glass, but... They'll shot the glass out. Get down the floor. They'll see you if you stand.
What next, sir?
They won't rush us while I've got this gun, and at least while they think I've got a gun.
What's wrong?
Oh, the bloody thing's jammed. Useless. There's nothing to stop them from just walking in if they knew.
Captain Drummond, I should advise against resistance. You'll only be killed.
What do you offer if we surrender?
A quicker death.
How'd you like to go to blazes? And don't forget, there are 6 bullets in my gun, and I'll take some of you with me. Where does that window lead to?
The roof is in the next building, but we can't get to it. It's in full view of the door.
Yes, they shoot us down.
Captain Drummond, sir, I'm nearer the window than either of you.
You'd never make it.
Well, sir, if I don't, look me up in my next incarnation.
Denny, I won't permit it.
Cheerio, sir.
Back to the smashing climax of our mystery in just a moment.
Every course counts these days. So more and more I'm looking to my desserts to furnish a lot of the food essentials my family needs. A nourishing dessert gives the most sensible and appealing finish to a meal.
Yes, and of all the desserts you could choose, probably none is more healthful and enjoyable than ice cream. Horton's ice cream, for example. Horton's ice cream contains vitamin A, the vitamin that helps guard against infection. It also gives you vitamins B1 and G. Minerals, too, including calcium, to help keep bones and teeth strong. And there are energy-producing elements in Horton's ice cream. It's real food, folks, and mighty delicious, too. Every smooth, rich serving. So do this now.
Put Horton's ice cream on your list to help you plan attractive, nourishing wartime menus.
For Horton's, Hortons, spells nourishment in its most delicious form. Late at night, we left Drummond, Denny, and the district attorney trapped in an office at the criminal courts building. Denny decides to sacrifice his life in a desperate dash for the open window.
You'll never make it.
Well, sir, if I don't, look me up in my next incarnation.
Denny, I won't miss.
Cheerio, sir.
Did he make it?
I can't tell.
They're going to rush us.
I know. Where is the door behind the desk, please?
The corridor, a little farther down, that's all.
We have to chance it. I'm going to throw this chair at the door. They're watching. Then we make a dash for the other, right?
I'm with you.
Here goes, then. Come on. This way, to the stairs. No good. Somebody's down there. Up the stairs, D.A.
Right behind you.
We're up at the top of the building.
Which way now?
I don't know.
They went up this way. Come on.
We can't wait, I'm afraid. Let's try this corridor here. Oh, it's dead end, D.A. We could get into one of these rooms. They're locked.
I'm winded, Drummond. I can't run anymore.
Buck up. There's no place we can run to anyway.
They'll find us in a moment.
Yes. That bookcase along the wall. What part of the building is it?
Legal department, library.
Strange place to die. But you can't see the top of the bookcase from here, can you?
No, it's too high. Why?
There may be room on top for us to climb up there. Maybe they won't find us. It's our only chance.
It's a slim one, Drummond, but you go ahead. I could never get up.
Nonsense. Here, I'll give you a hand up. Come on.
All right. There you go.
Room up there for me?
Yes, hurry.
All right, here I come.
Come on.
It's quite a climb. This bookcase isn't very solid, is it? I only hope it doesn't collapse too soon.
I could have sworn they went this way, but I don't see them. And they must be here somewhere.
Ain't in none of them rooms. The doors is locked. They wasn't in any of the other corridors.
We've got to find them.
Sure, we got it, but how?
We'll find them. Go on, Rex. Find them, boy. Find them.
Hey, he's picking up the trail.
Be quiet. Go on, Rex, boy. Go on. Down here somewhere.
Yeah, you hear that?
The police.
Yeah, I'm screaming every man for his son.
Wait, we can't let these can't do it. Let go of me. These men must be killed. I told you, let go. Oh.
That does it. Now to get down before this thing breaks down under us. Well, let me go first, yeah.
Right.
My dog is here. He means business.
The police will be along in a moment.
It'll take me a little time to round those rats up. Looks as if I'll have to tackle that dog barehanded and take my chances.
I don't like this. There's someone coming, Drummond.
Be careful, Denny. The dog's here.
Here you are.
Have you a gun, Denny?
No, sir, never carry one.
That dog may attack you.
Oh, no, sir. Here you are, puppy. There you are. You can come down now, sir.
Well, I'm certainly glad to be back on solid land again, eh, D.A.?
Definitely. But, Denny, how on earth did you quiet that dog?
Well, you see, sir, seeing as how I might be one of them myself in the future, I sort of have a tender feeling for them. I suspected the animal was hungry, sir, and after calling the police, I stopped in at a restaurant. Well, I picked up a lamb chop. Oh. That's what he's working on now, sir.
A lamb chop? Denny, you're incredible.
Oh, not at all, sir. Here, puppy.
We got them all, Drummond. The ship's scheduled to boot.
Good. Clever idea there, though. Posting beggars to watch government buildings all day. Arouse no suspicion that way.
Pardon me, sir, but could and couldn't what?
What a letter. Oh, I see. You mean the first and second beggars they killed?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's very simple, Denny. The first one, Sam, could see. The second one couldn't. Sam was a phony beggar who pretended to be blind and was killed because he saw too much. That gave me my first inkling of the truth.
You mean you knew he wasn't blind?
Yes. At the morgue, when we looked over his belongings, we found a chamois cloth among them. Now, only a man who needed to keep his glasses clean would carry that around with him. A man who had sight.
Oh, chamois, that's an animal, isn't it, sir?
Yes, Denny. A sort of graceful goat.
Really, sir? Now, I wonder who it might have been.
Bulldog Drummond will be back in just a moment. First, if you're going to serve ice cream for dessert tomorrow evening, you may be counting on running out to get it just before dinner. But if you buy Horton's ice cream in the handy ice tray pack, you won't have to do that. Because by getting the ice tray pack, you can buy Horton's ice cream when you do the rest of your marketing and keep it until dinner. You see, the ice tray pack is especially made to fit right into the freezing compartment of your refrigerator. It keeps the ice cream firm and delicious for hours. So make tomorrow night's dessert a convenient and tempting dessert. Make it Horton's ice cream. Say the delicious vanilla, orange ice, and strawberry combination. Horton's ice cream in the handy ice tray pack. And now here's Bulldog Drummond to tell us about next week's story.
Next week, Denny and I join a traveling circus, which seems to be running into a series of costly murders. How we trap the dangerous killers makes for one of the most thrilling experiences of my career. Be sure to be with us.
And so into the night walks Bulldog Drummond, seeking new adventure and excitement. Join us next week at this same time when Horton's Ice Cream brings you Bulldog Drummond in another thrilling mystery. This is Dan Seymour saying goodnight for Horton's Ice Cream.